Hello again, this is Dr. Taylor. This is a video on course organization for DelTech CHM100 or CHM110 on D2L. D2L stands for Desire to Learn, and it's the computer platform that DelTech uses to post all of its online courses. Aside from emails, you can find all the electronic communication and course materials here. Any policy guidelines or rules mentioned in this video can be found in the Policies and Expectations document. Let me just show you what that looks like right here. It looks like that. And so first you're going to log on to mydtc.edu using your username and password, and you'll get a screen that looks something like this. And you'll see on the left side there's an active menu bar here. The third and fourth items are the ones that are going to be important to you. Courses/D2L and email. This is where you get your DelTech email. So we're going to select courses, and you're going to get a list of the courses that you're either currently taking or have ever taken at DelTech. And we're going to select this one, CHM100, but the organization is the same for CHM100 or CHM110. So just follow along. And when you open it up, the first thing you're going to see is this welcome announcement here. And the welcome announcement has my contact information, my email and cell phone for emergencies. It also has links to our office hours Zoom, which is optional, but please take advantage of it if you need help. The times are here. And the times may change each semester, so always check for your particular times. There's a link to the Virtual Tutoring Center Zoom as well, and the time, my hours will be posted here. They will vary semester to semester, and the full Virtual Tutoring Center hours are posted as well. In addition, you'll find a list of what to expect when. So, number one, all weekly lesson plans will be posted as announcements on this announcement board. They're all duplicated in the overall course schedule that I'll also show you in a couple minutes. Number two, there are no scheduled classes for this course, either physically on campus or by Zoom, and that means that video lectures posted each week are, in fact, your lectures. Closed captions are available on all of the videos. Be sure to follow the schedule, watch the lecture videos along with the slide presentations that you can print out beforehand and take notes on. Number three, all labs are virtual labs. You can do these on your own. Be sure to read the instructions both at the beginning of most of the labs and within each question. I found that the vast majority of points lost by students on the labs were due to either misreading the question or not carefully considering the many helpful hints and suggestions both at the beginning of the lab and in the questions themselves. The most successful students in this course are the ones who carefully read the instructions and the hints and then apply that information to their answers. Number four, all quizzes are online. Number five, all exams are online unless specified. So you can see in this particular example for this course, exam 2 must be taken on campus. So always check your particular course to see if exam 2 is an exception. So in that case, you'll have to make an appointment at one of the 4 DelTech campus testing centers in order to take the exam there. All right, so all quizzes and exams will close at 10 p.m. on the final date that they're open. Let me scroll this a little further. So you need to make sure the dates that any quiz or exam is open, because when they close, it's a hard close. But if you have any issues with exam locations or dates or times, please contact me as soon as possible, and we'll see what I can do depending on if you have a reasonable excuse for the situation. And number 6, each week will start on a Monday except week 1, which starts a couple days early because the semester always starts on a Saturday, and the week will end on a Sunday. Now, if you scroll down here, it'll say go to week 1 lesson plan. So the week 1 lesson plan is also an announcement. Like all of your weekly lesson plans, there'll be announcements that'll typically appear on the Sunday before the next week starts. They'll contain links to everything that you need to complete for the following week. The weekly lesson plans often include links to your weekly lectures, as well as any chemistry unit slide presentation that corresponds to the lecture, though that's not visible in this particular example here. It also includes links to your lab training or lab virtual labs themselves, as well as any testing assessments that are open and due that particular week. Now, the week 1 lesson plan announcement's a little unusual because it includes both orientation and the mandatory lab safety training. The orientation involves watching various orientation videos. The orientation video you've already watched, this very video on organization of the class on D2L, and a video on academic integrity. Scrolling back up here. You'll also need to look over the Welcome to Online CHM100 or CHM110 reference document, but read completely and carefully the policies and expectations document that I showed you earlier. I recommend you print them out since you can use them as a reference for emergencies during any testing assessment. The policies and expectations document will definitely help you during quiz 1 on policy and ethics. In addition, I strongly recommend you print out the reference handout set. These come in color and black and white depending on your printer. Be sure to print your set out immediately in the first week, because these things are packed with essential chemistry and scientific information that you will need to pass each of the exams. I recommend numbering the pages since they're in the order that the course material will actually appear during the semester. You'll also see a link to the course schedule here, which has information and links to all of the weekly lesson plans, the same as all the weekly lesson plan announcements, but in one place, along with the due dates for each assignment and assessment. Below that is a link to the practice exams. These are practice exams for all of the exams, and they're broken up by unit and by exam, so be sure to take the practice exams before taking any actual exam. You'll find they're extremely helpful. And next is the student questionnaire. So the student questionnaire, I'd like you to fill that out as soon as possible. Please fill out any information that you're comfortable providing, though I do recommend you include a cell phone number if you have one for emergency contact purposes, and this has come up quite a few times. No information will be shared without your permission. And the next section is the mandatory lab safety training. Let me move that down. Mandatory lab safety training, which is in fact Lab 0. This is a link that will lead you to instructions on completing the safety training and submitting your safety training statement, which is a legal document and is due typically at the end of the first week. Training involves watching a rather old but useful safety training video, reviewing a couple pages of safety rules, and then looking over our lab layout. So it's a little map of the lab itself that shows the safety features of the lab as well as locations for both regular and hazardous waste disposal. But remember, your instructor will always tell you how to dispose of each type of waste in a lab, so you don't have to worry about that. The instructions will also ask you to print out a copy of the statement, check the various boxes, sign it, and then scan or photograph your signed copy and submit the electronic version to assignments just like any of the regular labs. The instructions are all there when you click on it, so don't worry about remembering them here. Week 1 usually includes a quiz on policy and ethics that I mentioned earlier, and a quiz 2 that covers lab safety training. Okay, so if I scroll further, you see week 2 here. Now, week 2 will not appear until the day before week 2, but I'm showing you this because the week 2 schedule is more typical of a normal week during the semester. And you'll see it's broken up into sections: slide presentations, videos to watch just like before, lab assignments just like before, and testing assessments just like before. The slide presentations are always available in 2 formats, a PDF and a PowerPoint format, depending on your preference. The PDF format looks much better if you want to view the lectures on your computer in D2L without downloading. The PowerPoint version is better if you want to download onto your computer and view them slide by slide and actually take advantage of the animation built into each slide that allows you to stop in the middle of slides, etc. Either version will print out just fine as long as you download them first onto your computer. The slide numbers within the unit presentations are always provided. You can see here it says slides 1 through 32, and they will correspond to your weekly lecture videos. Now, when you actually open these videos, and I'm not going to open it up right now, you'll notice the videos are considerably longer than you might get in other classes. And there's a reason for that. This is because I include many practice problems in the lectures, along with answers and frequently explanations in order to help you prepare for the exams. All right, so scrolling further down here, the lab assignment. When you open up a typical lab, and I'm going to open this one up, this is the second lab you'll be doing, Lab 1, Chemistry and Measurement. You'll see there are 2 ways to submit and complete your labs. There's the PDF way, which uses a scanner, and the PowerPoint way, which does not use a scanner, depending on whether or not you have a scanner available to you. With the scanner method, you will download the version. Just follow these instructions. You'll download the version, you'll print it out, you'll write your answers right on the paper, and then scan it again and submit it. The PowerPoint version is if you want to type your answers right onto the downloaded file right on your computer, and then save the file and submit that. And you'll see both versions of the lab are available at the bottom of these pages. Now, if you plan on using the scanning method, that's the PDF method here, please scan them as a single document with all the pages shown in order right side up so that I can read it and grade it more easily. But if you don't have a scanner and you'd like to use some kind of scanning option anyway, there are phone apps available like Adobe Scan or the Notes app on later model iPhones that you can use. There's also an online program called combinedpdf.com that allows you to merge photos together into a single PDF document. So you have a number of different options here. Now, one other note about the labs, most of the virtual lab documents, when you open these labs up, they have videos embedded in the lab. And they're short videos. Be sure to watch them all to help you complete the lab. But depending on your computer system, you might need to also hold the control or command button down when you click on the link to that video in order to open it properly. Okay, so I'm going to get out of this. Let's go back to the main page here. And at the top here, you see this blue menu bar. And there are 5 headings here: content, activities, tools, grades, and help. Now the content bar, when I click on that menu item, that's where, not surprisingly, you're going to find the content of the course. And there are 4 folders here. The Start Here, which has the orientation videos you're watching right now. Student Questionnaire, which you already have a link to in the week 1 lesson plan as well as in the course schedule. That's just a backup. And then instructor information, contact information. This is essentially a duplicate of the welcome announcement that I showed you earlier. The course schedule is the most important thing to you. When you open up course schedule, you'll see all the weeks of the semester, 15 weeks if you're taking it in the fall or spring, 10 weeks if you're taking an accelerated version of this course in the summer. You'll also note that the schedule is divided into 3 activity columns: video lectures and documents, your virtual labs, and your testing assessments, that is your quizzes, exams, and finals. If you look at each item in here, they're all active links. So if you hover your mouse over any one of these, you can open these up directly and complete each assignment directly from the course schedule or from your weekly lesson plans that are posted as announcements. So the third folder in this list is the backup information. And you really don't need to go here. This is just in case you can't find something on the course schedule or in your weekly lesson plans that you've already seen, like the reference handouts or the weekly lectures. These are all your lectures that are in the schedule already. You can go back and look at all the individual week's lectures here. I also have all the individual labs, but you already have access to those as well. The practice exams, if you forget where those are, they're in week 1, but if you forget where they are, they're right here. And then any policy documents that I mentioned already, the 2 documents I did mention, as well as a syllabus which just lists all the topics that are covered in the course throughout the semester. And the last item, the last folder on this list is support services. And support services has one extremely important item, the virtual student support center, the virtual support center. And the support center has, when you click on this, it'll lead you to a website that has links to many support services that are free to the DelTech community. They include links to advisors, to the libraries, tech support, including laptop lending, the virtual tutoring center, which you'll get other links for as well, financial aid and billing, the testing centers. There are 4 testing centers, 1 at each campus. Mental health support and emergency services, career services, student life and activities calendar, and disability support for any type of disability. Contact them if you're not sure if you qualify. Also in support services folder, you'll find a link to the full tutoring schedule of every tutor that tutors any subject at DelTech. Be sure to go to the bottom and select the tab for science tutors to get the tutors for this class. You also find a document called Adjusting to COVID. This is just a few page document of strategies that will help you deal with 100% online courses. And then the last 2 items here deal with smart thinking. This is a non-DelTech resource that is a 24/7 online tutoring service separate from our virtual tutoring center that is part of DelTech. Under activities, we have another set of menu items here, and there are 2 that you might be interested in. Assignments, which is where you'll find all your labs and the student questionnaire. And quizzes, which is what DelTech calls all quizzes, exams, and the final. So if we click on assignments, it just gives you all the labs, but you don't need to access this. They're already accessible from your weekly lesson plans and your course schedule. The other item, quizzes, when you click on that, will list all of the exams and quizzes you have for the entire semester. But again, you already have links to these through the weekly lesson plan announcements and through the course schedule, so you don't need to go to this. All right. Under tools, you'll see quite a few items here, and most of these you won't have to concern yourself with. Announcements, just if you want to look at all the announcements for the course, and discussions in case we have a discussion board for the course. Currently, there is none. You'll also find a system check that allows you to make sure that you have all the proper hardware and software to use D2L properly. Under grades, there are only 2 items. Class progress, which just allows you and the instructor to see how many items you've opened up throughout the semester, and grades. And let me open up the grades here. So when you open up grades, you'll see there's a section for your final calculated grade. DelTech has a number of policies about science courses, and one of them is that you must have a passing grade in not only your overall final calculated grade, but also in your lecture grade, which is the quizzes and exams, as well as your lab grade, which is the labs, obviously. And so you must have a passing grade in all 3 of these, a passing grade being 70% in each of these in order to pass. For example, if you aced your lab grade, but you failed your lecture grade, that is your quizzes and exams, or vice versa, DelTech policy dictates that you will still fail the entire course no matter how high your overall grade is. In other words, all 3 grades, your lab grade, your lecture grade, and your overall grade, all must be passing in order to pass any DelTech laboratory course. In addition, DelTech policy states that 3 missing labs in the spring or fall and only 2 missing labs in the summer will result in automatic failing grade for the semester. So it's important to keep up with your labs, which also help you prepare for your exams. Now, coming back out of this, let's go back. And finally, under the blue bar, the help menu, this lists several different types of assistance and support links, including D2L and technology help, another link to the virtual support center down here at the bottom that I strongly recommend. So if you need technological help or personal help, this is one place you can look as well. Let me go back to the initial page. So in closing, if you have any questions, please contact me. Don't wait. I look forward to meeting each of you. Hopefully you can make a brief appearance at either our office hours or my virtual tutoring center hours during the first week so that we can meet. You only have to stop by and say hello. It doesn't have to take any time. And with that, I thank you very much for your patience, and I wish you the very best of luck with your success at DelTech.